Hi everybody, welcome to G4G here on YouTube. Today's video is going to be about the current status of Marvel Avengers Alliance Redux, or MAR, as Goofy is calling it. And I'm also going to have a little bit of a discussion with you guys while one of my old ass MAA videos play. That's over here. But first, what we're going to do is take a look at Goofy Troll's newest version. He uploaded this on May 4th, which was in honor of the original release date for Infinity Wars before it was pushed up, and also going to be the projected release date when GLB, or Gaming Life Beginner, was going to supposedly release his initial beta. If you've been watching my videos, you will know that GLB has all but disappeared. If you go to the Reddit that he created and you have access to it like I do, you will notice that GLB's account says deleted. So the dude is gone. Fortunately, nobody lost anything other than heart when it came to this. He did not take any money. This was not like a Kickstarter where a game was never produced and people lost money, they lost backer money in it and everything. The only thing we did was become cynical and doubtful, you know, in relation to this game. And, you know, there were people who lost emotional investment in it. However, I will tell you highly that I don't believe that there is any reason to be cynical towards the game anymore in the hands of Goofy Troll. This is a stand-up person. This is somebody that we have access to him on Facebook and Discord. He's very active in the community. He responds to comments. People ask him questions. He responds. He is not in the Philippines with no net and language barriers and everything like that. So here's his current work. By the way, piece of trivia for you guys. The Jotun Ice Crafter over there has one of my favorite combat animations in the game, and that is the way that that club is swung. Hopefully we'll get to see him for another round. Otherwise I may have to rewind it. But as you can see here, we see damage going out. That wasn't the ability that I like. It's when he takes the club and swings it like a one-handed bat. But as you can, I mean, this is like, let's be honest, this is rough, but it's still looking very good. I can't remember if the previous friendly characters' abilities appear on screen while the enemy team is taking their actions. I would think it, well, we'll find out in just a moment from my video. But this is, I mean, this is tremendous work in getting this game back in our hands. And I don't care how rough it is. It's progress, and it's somebody doing the right thing. So let's see this again here. I just want to see that Ice Crafter. No, he's not doing it. He's not doing it, but it was the swing where he takes the club down to about his waist, and he just whips it around. And the agent actually had a similar weapon. It just, along with some of Sif's animations and Psylocke's animations, which I absolutely loved, it was one of my favorite combat attacks in the game, is when the Jotun Ice Crafter just takes that that ice club and wings it from the side. So this is what Jason's going, this is what he's doing now. This is his progress. As you can see here, you can follow him on Jason Matz or search YouTube for MAR. It does not, don't search for MAA Redux, you won't find it, which is actually good because it hides it from prying eyes. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Now, let's go down and deal with the second topic of the video here, and we'll be on Jason's video briefly for it, and we'll go into one of my old ones. And that is the community that we have had while this game has tried to get going, especially the community that exists now with it being helmed, the work being helmed by Goofy. And that is, the community is so positive about this game and Jason's work, it almost reduces you to tears. Because we're getting a game back that we loved so much, that existed for 4 years, and it's been gone for 2. It's approaching the 2-year mark. We don't have that many months left to when we got the announcement, which was early August, to when it died, which was September. So, but I mean, look at the comments. I'm so excited. You're a god. MSF is nothing compared to MAA. I'm not going to disagree with it, but more on that in a moment. I do like Marvel Strike Force a lot. I really do. The hype is real. Thank you very much for your job. If you finish, open the game again. Fantastic. Great work, bro. Looks incredible. I'm holding back tears. Looks amazing, bro. When are we going to get to play it? This isn't a negative comment. He's asking why are you coding it in Flash, because Flash 11 looks horrible. I don't consider that negative at all. That's an honest question, and you know, Goofy did not think of it as a negative question. He was like, hey, well, you know, that's the assets I'm dealing with were coded in that. Are you doing all this work by yourself? This looks awesome. If it actually comes out again, I'd be extremely happy. You know, everybody is so positive about it. Yes, there was that one dude who was like, you're selling smoke and blah, blah, blah. Well, like I said in the last video, that guy can go fuck himself. I mean, everybody is so happy for this, and everybody has been so positive. There's just not been any real negative comments about this. I think one guy was kind of the opinion, you know, the game is dead, it should stay dead. But everybody else is very excited for it. I'm excited for it because for many, many years, it was the main topic of videos on my channel. And when I had the time to stream it and do all the videos for it and everything, I really, really liked it. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, you know, it's going to return my YouTube channel to glory if it comes back. I actually was looking back through my channel to try and get back to some of my early MAA videos over here. And believe it or not, a lot of my World of Warcraft videos far outweigh the views that I got with the Marvel Avengers Alliance ones. But viewer count isn't what mattered to me. It was the community. It was the fact that I ran into somebody in Overwatch a month ago who was like, the Napalm Dom that did the MAA videos. I think, and Kiwi, if you're watching this video, I played a Heroes of the Storm match against a variant who was named Kiwi Samurai. I don't think there's too many Kiwi Samurai on this planet, so if that was you, who was up against an Artanis hitting mad swaps that game, that was me. And I hope you watch this video, and I'd like to know if that was you that I was playing against. But so here in the background while we talk about this was an early video that I did called The Quest for Diamond. It was the 3rd, 4th, maybe 5th video that I did in Marvel Avengers Alliance. And I was really, really trying for, I believe this season was the infamous can opener. I'm pretty sure that was the reward of the season that I was going for really, really heavily, was the Beyond Corp can opener, or yeah, I think it was a Beyond weapon. And sure enough, very soon after this PvP season, they had the Murder World Spec Ops, and if you remember, everything was a fucking robot, and that can opener worked against robots very well, and I think it had that debuff called Mechanical Stress. But you look here, my silver's only 506k. Yeah, this I remember this season. Sabretooth, Ares, the Savant Spear, the Scroll of Angelob, or Baloney Scroll. This is the Power Cell. There, yep, there it is. There it fucking is. The Beyond Corp can opener that I never got. I wanted it so bad, and I think it finally started appearing in roulettes towards the end of the game, and I can never get it. So Domino was a reward. A Scrapper suit was a reward. The of course, the Beyond Corp can opener, I got in gold. I was trying very, very hard for diamond in that season, and I didn't reach it. I got gold. Um, but yeah, see, wait, there. Okay, there we go. So, 2-round cooldown, melee slashing, designed to open really, really big cans. Can open or counter, 50% chance to perform a counterattack when attacked by enemies with metal. Mechanical stress, cooldowns of all executed abilities except recharge are increased by round. Melt armor and shield breaker. Mechanical stress was not a very, very common debuff at all, but that can open or counterattack was really good. And then that whole season, right, well, that whole Spec Ops right afterwards, we were dealing with all like the Robo Cage and Robo Iron Fist and everything like that. And paltry, not even 200 views on this at the time. So, goes to show you how far things came along. But one of my classic allies, Psy, with the "You Don't Say Nick Cage" avatar over here, I will never forget that. He was on my ally list for the longest time, and he never changed his avatar. That's the Odin staff, I believe, over here that I never completed. And God, looking at my characters, look at how little my characters were over here. I mean, sad. Just basic. Basic. I mean, I don't think I ever really got, well, no, towards the, somewhere along the line I got the Annihilus Human Torch, with the other suit, but I used him as a regular Human Torch for a long time. So it's very interesting to see this flashback and that outfit for Miss Marvel, Phoenix 5 for Jean Grey, the Phoenix 5 for Cyclops, and yeah, basic Iron Fist over there. So, you know, back on the topic of the community, I mean, the community's been absolutely amazing since Goofy took over, and there's been nothing but positivity and nothing but people wanting to help, and I'm just so proud of the people that are making up the community now, whether it be the Discord or the Facebook group and everything like that. Everybody's been, it's just been great, even on Discord. I mean, there's been some strife at times on Discord and everything like that, but so much work is being done. Like, one guy has been producing AI controlled PvP opponents for you to fight, and he's gone so far as to look at what were common weapons at the time. And if we take a look at this link over here, you can see these quote-unquote fake, like, see, these are all the items that were being used in PvP at the time and available. And he has, like, several different teams of people that you would have fought back then. And your team can go up against these AI control. Well, everybody was AI controlled in PvP. It wasn't live, but he's emulating teams of the time, so you get a very authentic experience, and that's crazy. That's like nuts to think that somebody is doing that, and so much work is being put into this now. I love it, and just kudos to Jason, kudos to the community for being really positive about this, being generally nice to each other, and super excited for it. And the other thing that I wanted to touch on in this video, and looking at this, like, this screen right here gives you a whole great amount of examples of this next topic that I want to deal with, and that is no Marvel game, with the exception slightly of Marvel Contest of Champions, no Marvel game made me sit there and want to find out more information about these characters and their backstories than Marvel Avengers Alliance ever did, because Marvel Avengers Alliance had balls. Played with this game had balls of fucking steel. Like, they put people in here that you were like, who? And you had to look them up. And then what happened when you looked these characters up? You probably found your way to a wiki. You found a little bit of their story, and God, look at that defensive loadout. That's the void generator gun, the one that made the shield and purged your debuffs. I'm diverting my course here for a moment. I loved that power cell set. I loved that gun. I loved the Stalker. It was one of the most unique guns or weapons in the entire game as to what it did. Very, very poor choice to use it on defensive team. Knowing what I know now, I would go back in time and slap myself and say, don't use that gun. The AI does not do it well. And I think the leftmost pistol was that Captain America one. Let's, come on, mouse over it. Go left. Left. No, okay, that's the Enigma 45. But hey, it gives everybody agile when it's used, so was pretty cool. Oh, the Vigilante Toolkit. The Adeline set. I think I saw maybe a Well-Rod restored pistol there, too. Oh, go back to my inventory. Come on, past me. Go back to the inventory. Oh, damn. Oh, well, that's a shame. So, the Marvel Avengers Alliance, this is coming from the perspective of somebody who did not really read any of the Marvel comics. The comics that I did do as a kid, believe it or not, were Transformers comics. So, growing up on Long Island, which is a very common thing that we had, were bakeries. We had tons of bagel places, we had lots of bakeries, and we had Italian bakeries like Stella d'Oro and everything. But when I was in 5th grade, I was living at a house where my parents would kind of fairly frequently on Sundays go to this one bakery that was right next door to a stationery store. You might also know it as a card store. And I would go in there and I would read the Transformer comics, and I'll tell you, because I was very into the Transformer show at the time, the Transformer comics were considerably darker than the show. And I grew up very, very interested in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, so I grew up with Spider-Man and Firestar and Iceman. Absolutely, Loki Scepter. I know that weapon. Very much had a young boy crush on Firestar. And then I also very, very much like that original Batman cartoon with Mark Hamill's the Joker. And the Spider-Man cartoon that showed up where the intro's like, Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man. I don't remember the name of it, but that was another big one. But the comics were not big with me. I didn't do a lot of comic books, but this game actually made me go out and pull the trigger and get the House of M series, because I knew how impactful and huge House of M was on the Marvel Universe. And this game made me look up characters left and right. And what happens when you look up a character on the wiki? Things spiral out of control. You see a link, you're like, oh, that's interesting, that's interesting. You're like looking up Deadpool, which then maybe leads to, what was it, Six Pack or Power Pack, which then maybe leads to Silver Sable, which leads to Cable. Like, it goes out of control. And I admit I used to do that with World of Warcraft wikis. Like, I'd look up Malagos, and then that would spin into the lore of the Blue Dragon Flight, which would spin into the lore of other Dragon Flights and other Blue Dragons, and then the Twilight Dragons, and I did that with Marvel Avengers Alliance. I would go down these rabbit holes, and like, who's Molly? What are the Runaways? I don't know anything about the Runaways. And then you're reading about the Runaways, and you're finding out about Gertrude, who wasn't in the game, and you're like, oh, she originally had old lace. And then how did Chase get it? And all of a sudden you're interested. You're fucking enveloped with this desire to find out more about Marvel. And it just, like, who... And look at on the screen over here. Look at these characters that we have never dealt with in any game. Omega Sentinel. Omega Sentinel has showed up nowhere since she maybe was a team up in Marvel Heroes. I don't remember. She might have had an appearance on Marvel Heroes, but it took a long time for Magic to show up in things. She is now, but Valkyrie over here has showed up nowhere until she finally showed up in Marvel Future Fight after Thor Ragnarok. But this is what I was saying earlier. MAA, and obviously by proxy Playdom, had balls. They took risks doing this stuff. They brought out costumes that had stories attached to them. Like looking at Scarlet Witch over there reminded me of the Romany costume, and yeah, you have the Avengers movie one, which was kind of shit. It still was good for her character, but God, Marvel Avengers, or Avengers Age of Ultron, Quicksilver, trash. I hate that representation of Quicksilver. Absolutely hate it. Hated it in the movie compared to the Days of Future Past Quicksilver. Hated the outfit in the game. Thought he was incredibly underpowered on that character compared to the original ones in blue suit. But, I mean, alright, we're seeing some pretty common characters over here. Hulk, Doctor Strange. But Kitty Pryde, you didn't see her in a whole lot of games. She was very good in Marvel Heroes, but this game made you so interested in the Marvel Universe, and like the rings. So looking at these abilities from Doctor Strange of Balthak and Valtor and everything like that, and knowing that there were rings in the game with similar names, you're like, what is that? Like, I want to know about that. So you start researching Doctor Strange, and you see the things he was involved with. Captain, Miss Marvel originally being, the name descended from Captain Marvel, and it's just amazing how much this game dragged me through the weeds of Marvel lore. And I'm not even kicking and screaming, like willingly going out there and finding out about these incredible stories in the Marvel Universe, some of which you didn't even know. Like, ask me back then who Union Jack was. I would have been like, I don't know, who's Union Jack? And then you find out about, so you hop from Union Jack to finding out about Excalibur and how that related to Captain Britain and Psylocke's time being involved with it. And then, like the Runaway stuff. I had no idea of any of the plot of the Runaway stuff, and now it's a show. And a very good show, mind you. If you have not watched The Runaways, I highly recommend it. If you don't want to pay for it on Hulu, get it on Terrarium TV or something. But Gifted was good. Legion is mind-blowingly phenomenal. Legion is like taking acid and sitting in front of your TV, or taking acid and smashing the heels of your hand into your eyes and just being like, I want to see colors. That's Legion. But Runaways is very good. Very, very good. Psylocke, people had heard of Psylocke before this game. She featured heavily in the Capcom vs. Street Fighter series and everything like that, or Marvel vs. Street Fighter. But Red Hulk, kind of a slightly more lesser known character. Shitterstar over there, I didn't know that much about, but that one I think is my fault. I think Shitterstar was more popular than I ever really gave him credit for. But and this game fulfilled some of my character fantasies that I want to see. I never got my Firestar, but I got Flag Smasher. As a kid, Flag Smasher to me looked so much like Space Ghost. Not Space Ghost Coast to Coast from Adult Swim and Cartoon Network. I mean the original, like, Hanna-Barbera Space Ghost cartoon show. Since I loved Space Ghost, when I saw Flag Smasher and he looked so much like him, I had always wanted to see more of Flag Smasher, and then when he popped up in the game for that Runaway Spec Ops, I'm like, yes! Oh, this is amazing. So, it's some of the things that I missed the most about this game that I wish that I could have it back. And the good thing is, without like a corporation behind this, with, you know, a community giving ideas to Goofy and his ability to say, yeah, I want to do this, no, I don't want to do this, I think it's a bad idea, and put it in the game, we can have some of the things about the game that we had always wanted but could never get. Like, if we wanted Namor or Silver Surfer, all that it's going to take is somebody to do the sprite, do the ability sets, discuss how the AI will operate the character, you know, define the abilities and the damage ranges and the debuffs and everything, and we can have the Silver Surfer we always wanted in this game. We could have the Namor. I could have my Firestar. You know, you could take even easier an existing character and skin it. So, say in the new season of Luke Cage gets an iconic appearance in Season 2 or something like that. We can do that in this game, and we don't have to wait for anything. We don't have to wait for corporate approval or, you know, oh man, this tab right over here. This is some memories. Havoc. Where has Havoc been since this game? Havoc was so good in this game, and he has been nowhere since this game. But he was so strong. Spiral. God, I miss Spiral. She got so good by the end of the game. Bishop. Bishop has never really shown up anywhere. Wonder Man. Like, what other game has ever dealt with Wonder Man? That's the balls that I think this game had that we will never get back again. These characters, these more fringe characters that draw you deeper into Marvel, were amazing. And the Agent. Because, let's be honest, I don't think we appreciated the Agent as much as we did when the game was live than when it died. Think about it. When the dailies came out that were like, okay, it's the symbiote daily, or okay, it's ladies only, and you couldn't do it if you had a male agent or whatever. But you had those team-ups and you're like, yay, I can do 3 characters and not the agent. Oh, these team-ups are great, and these synergies are great, and this is so awesome and everything like that. I can do these amazing team-ups. We pushed Constrictor. Like, where's Constrictor ever been? Nobody's ever dealt with Constrictor other than this game. We literally took the agent and put him in a revolving door and spun him around and laughed at him as he got dizzy while we took Satana, her brother, and Pesty and put them in a daily, and we're like, look at this team, this is so much fun, haha, this is great. And the agent's just sitting in the corner crying, going, thanks guys, fuck. What did we really miss when we didn't have the agent? We missed access to the inventory. We thought of the agent as a vehicle to get into the shield vault. Oh, I'm missing my healing things, I'm missing my stamina things, I'm missing the cool weapons he has. But how do we think about the agent now that he's been gone? How did we think about it in Marvel Avengers Alliance 2 when he didn't make an appearance in the game? And, you know, Marvel Future Fight, Marvel Strike Force, Marvel Avengers Alliance 2. When we didn't have the agent, people now, I have such a deep respect for the agent character in this game and the work Playdom did for agent armor, agent gear, agent gadgets, weapons, the sets. The way the sets worked against each other, or worked with each other, in the fact of, like, you had the demon set which said you get better things if you have certain debuffs on you. And other sets that are strictly if you have 1, 2, 3, or 4 pieces, which is like the World of Warcraft style. Just think of the brains. Somewhere in, like, Playdom's basement was a coder slaving away with a Mountain Dew and a bag of Doritos, just sitting there coming up with all this shit. The power cells, you know, some of these are all rooted in Marvel lore, obviously, like the rings we talked about earlier. But so much of this, somebody had to think of this stuff, or a team had to think of it, and it's nuts because nobody has done it since then. What game has ever done anything remotely resembling the agent in this game? The closest I've ever seen is the different Eddies from Iron Maiden's Eddie in Iron Maiden Legacy of the Beast. It's close, but it's still not the same as this. Some people have said the original version of Sunny, which is a Flash zombie game, kind of came close because he had like different armor and he looked different in the game and everything like that, depending on what he was equipped with and so on and so forth. But nothing. If you know of something, please tell me. I would love to check it out and make a direct comparison. But I know of nothing that is compared to the absolute uniqueness and brain power and brain calories expended to create something like the agent in this game. I mean, like, the Adeline mace. Yeah, sure, we know of Adeline stuff. But how do you define what the Adeline mace would do and like what it looked like and everything? I have such a deep respect for that, and I don't think I necessarily respected it so much when the game was live. And it's not nostalgia goggles, and I don't think it's absence makes the heart grow fonder. I think it's more like you don't know what you have until it's gone. Like when you're in a kind of maybe a crappy relationship and you break up and you're like, damn, it was better than I thought. I never had that, but yeah, I'm sorry. I'm spinning my wheels here in the mud, just glorifying the agent, but I think it deserves the glorification. And thanks to Goofy, if we get it back, and we get some of these amazing inventory items back again, I'd be absolutely thrilled. I'd be so happy if, like, when the game went live, everybody got that X-Play gadget that I had that was kind of my badge of honor. Like, I had played the game since literally the Marvel Avengers Alliance beta, and I have a piece of gear that proves it. I don't care if everybody got that as, like, here's your install gift, have the X-Play gadget or something like that. But yeah, I want to see these characters again so bad. I don't care if they're recolored. I don't care if they're renamed, that his name is Heroic Captain Hoagie or something like that. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Or, you know, Heroic Marshal England. Don't care. Just want to play it again. And I think it'll be absolutely amazing. Kudos to Goofy for working on this so well. Again, everybody in the community, pat yourselves on the back for being nice about this and just receptive to this game hopefully coming back. And I hope everybody shares my near tears of thinking about the agent coming back and having access to the gear and everything again. So, take care, everybody. Sorry I rambled so long, but it's just been a topic on my mind lately. See ya.